So Pipestone is located 45 miles over the Minnesota border at International Falls, just about 15 miles up 71. It's a part of a chain of lakes, so it flows in and flows out. Actually, there's 2 portages, one on each end. And then there's actually a few little lakes before you get into what's considered Pipestone. When I was little, we had a cabin on Clearwater, which is what connects to Pipestone, so coming up to the lake was nothing new to me. Every weekend we were here. Every Saturday morning we were up at 7 a.m. to go catch trout in our little Johnson boat. When I was about 19 years old, I really got back into it when my parents bought the resort. And as much as I love being on Clearwater, Pipestone has become home to me. I love like being secluded and like walking earth that no one's touched before and wandering into lakes that no one's been in years.
Given you how many muskies would you boat?
That's such a tough. That's how many muskies a year would I boat personally? That's such a tough question. Someone actually asked me that not long ago. First trip to Eagle. First fish on Eagle. First 50. Submarine. I'd say like 20 in a season. And that's for someone that only fishes like mornings or nights. Which is crazy to actually think about that. It's a really hard sport. Fast.
Right? So fast. Okay, lift up a little bit.
I can't even hold it so fast.
Nice job, Jessie. Big fish, 47 and a half.
Yep. The typical day going ice fishing it's a lot of preparation. So you're up early, mainly because you gotta get everything packed. It's so much work to like get everything in the sled, warm up the sled. Lots of mornings it's like super cold, so you're layering up. A lot of lakes, especially around here, you're driving probably 5 to 10 miles. You can even go further than that. There's so much access in the wintertime. Basically picking a spot you think is going to be good, drilling a hole and putting a graph in it. Well, now we use graphs, but like when I was a kid growing up, we didn't use graphs, so we just dropped down a bait and jigged it until something bit. And that's what you do all day. Because I fish more in the winter now, and because I've become more passionate about ice fishing in general, I've become more knowledgeable of like what to do. But like when I was a kid, or even in high school, or let's say 7 years ago, we just literally popped like 3 holes and just sat there all day and jigged. He came up really hot and then went back down. Usually what these fish like is they like a straight retrieve, so you kind of bounce it in front of their face, and when they start to get excited, you just straight retrieve it. And he came squealing up, so because he's bleeding a little bit and we need dinner tonight, so. You want to talk about Canadian winters? They're cold, that's for sure. They're in the wintertime, as you get into like March, I'd say late February, March, it gets nice. Like the sun shines and you wear sweaters and stuff like that, but that's not to say that the morning you're not going to have 6 layers on. Oh yeah, oh yeah. This is big. Look at how much line that fish took. This honestly could be, it could be a pike, but it could be a laker. Usually lakers go right to the bottom, and it's not fighting me super hard, but it's got steady weight. Fighting for 8 minutes at least. I haven't even been able to get a look at it. It just keeps pulling it back down. The fact that it took this much line is like, that's what made me think maybe it was a lake trout, because they go right to the bottom as soon as they feel like they're... Oh my gosh, it's a laker. Holy man! Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at that. Big chunk out of it. Must be a muskie around here. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not what I was expecting, but I'll take it. But that explains why there's so much line, because usually when trout feel like they're injured, they go right to the bottom. Most fish do actually, but this is like 30 feet here, so. Females in the fishing industry is such, it's like it's a sensitive subject, but it's also like an empowering subject. There's a stereotype of what the female angler looks like. I mean, social media is so extreme sometimes. I know how to back a trailer in, I know how to drive a boat, I know how to do all that kind of stuff because I learned how to do it, and I am blessed and super grateful to have had access to all of those things. But one thing that I really wanted to encourage, and one reason that I am really grateful to be a part of the fishing community, is that I want to be a voice and an advocate for female anglers that want to become independently anglers. Not have to rely, I mean, of course my boyfriend fishes and stuff too, but not have to rely on somebody to take you fishing or to drive the boat or to run the trolling motor or do all that kind of stuff, because I guess maybe it's personal preference, but it means so much more to me when I can do it for myself and where I can teach other people how to do it, and not to take away from the fact that I love fishing with my significant other or anyone in general, but I like that I don't have to rely on somebody else. Like, I think you really have to earn your respect. Like, at first people just, at first people just like to like my photos because I was the good looking girl holding up a fish, and now they're like, wow, that's impressive.